NASCAR has recently made changes to its charter system, and these changes are significant for teams.
Ryan Blaney has won his way into the championship.
A great day for Kyle Larson.
Seventh career win in his 100th.
Joey Logano takes the checkered flag. Hell yeah, boy!
To understand the impact, let's first explore what the charter system is and why it matters. In 2016, NASCAR introduced the charter system to provide stability for racing teams. A charter guarantees a team's entry into every race and ensures they receive a portion of the prize money. This system was designed to help teams secure financing and plan for the future. There are 36 charters available, each with performance standards. If a team finishes among the bottom three for 3 consecutive years, NASCAR can reclaim the charter. Teams can own up to 4 charters, and these can be sold or transferred, creating a market where their value can fluctuate. Operating a NASCAR team is expensive. Running a car in the Cup Series costs about $18 million per year. This figure doesn't include driver salaries, marketing, or sponsorship activities. Under the current revenue distribution, NASCAR receives 51% of the broadcast deal revenue. Teams get 39%, and racetracks receive 10%. This means teams must generate 60 to 80% of their revenue from sponsorships, leading to financial strain. In contrast, Major League Baseball teams rely on sponsorships for only 8 to 12% of their revenue. Teams have expressed concerns about this model. In 2022, they called it flawed and requested a larger share of the new media rights agreement, which spans from 2025 to 2031. NASCAR's new media rights contract is worth $7.7 billion over 7 years, making it the most valuable yet. However, it hasn't addressed the team's concerns. NASCAR initially planned to have 3 broadcast partners, but ended up with 4. This fragmented approach may cause subscription fatigue among fans, as they might need multiple subscriptions to watch races. NASCAR's programming will be spread across 5 platforms. While streaming may appeal to younger audiences, casual fans might find it challenging to follow the season. Recently, NASCAR announced a significant change to the charter system. Moving forward, teams will be limited to owning 3 charters. But teams like Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing, which currently operate with 4 charters, will be grandfathered in under the new rules. This means they can continue to run 4 chartered cars without altering their structure. Other teams can still enter a 4th car in races, but it would compete as an open team without the financial security that a charter provides. Open cars aren't guaranteed starting spots or the revenue-sharing benefits that charters offer, making expansion riskier and more expensive. This decision has sparked debate. Fans and smaller teams argue that it favors established giants like Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing. Critics say the rule hinders newer teams like Trackhouse Racing and 2311 Racing, which have shown rapid growth and competitiveness. These organizations now face significant barriers to expanding their operations, limiting their ability to attract sponsors and compete financially with the powerhouse teams. Operating 4 cars has long been considered the most financially sustainable model in NASCAR. It allows teams to spread costs, streamline logistics, and negotiate more lucrative sponsorship packages. By limiting charters to 3 per team, NASCAR is effectively cutting off this opportunity for emerging organizations. Without the financial backing that comes with a charter, running a 4th car as an open entry introduces substantial risk. This limitation could discourage investment and hinder their growth, putting them at a disadvantage against legacy teams. One case highlighted in the lawsuit is that of Furniture Row Motorsports. This team won the Cup Series championship in 2017, but sold for just $6 million a year later. Such an outcome shows how even the most successful teams struggle under the current system. The lawsuit describes situations where teams felt coerced into signing the charter agreement because NASCAR remains the only major racing league in the U.S. Without alternatives, teams say they were left with no choice but to accept unfavorable terms. In addition to revenue-sharing issues, the lawsuit points out NASCAR's acquisition of the Automobile Racing Club of America in 2018. ARCA was turned into a feeder series under NASCAR's control. This move, the lawsuit alleges, eliminated competition and gave NASCAR even more control over stock car racing in the United States. This lack of competition has made it difficult for teams to negotiate better terms or find alternative platforms to showcase their talents. Michael Jordan has been vocal about his commitment to fairness and competition. He entered the NASCAR world in 2020 by partnering with driver Denny Hamlin to create 23XI Racing. The team features Bubba Wallace, one of NASCAR's most prominent drivers, as its star. Jordan's passion for racing is evident in his statements, where he describes his drive to win and his dedication to the sport. However, he has also been clear that the current system undermines the competitive spirit that racing should embody. The lawsuit doesn't just focus on past grievances, but also highlights the potential future of NASCAR. The organization's current charter agreement is set to expire at the end of December 2024. Most teams, 13 out of 15, have signed on to a new agreement starting in 2025, but the terms of this new deal remain a point of contention. Teams that sign these agreements are guaranteed spots in all 36 Sprint Cup Series races, but questions about revenue distribution and fairness persist. Jordan and his legal team argue that every major sport reaches a turning point where change becomes necessary. For NASCAR, they believe that moment has arrived. Attorney Jeffrey Kessler, representing the teams, stated that this lawsuit aims to transform the sport into a fairer and more competitive environment. In January, the year began with important discussions about charter agreements at NASCAR. NASCAR proposed increasing the team's share of media income from 39% to 42%, but some believe the actual offer was closer to 50%, which would be a significant jump. Despite the promising numbers, no final agreement was reached, and NASCAR had to extend the negotiation deadline. By February, the atmosphere grew tense as teams expressed dissatisfaction by allowing the extension to expire. If the charters had expired completely, teams might have considered leaving NASCAR altogether and starting a competing racing series. To address the rising tensions, NASCAR proposed a 7-year renewal of the current charter deal, but the teams wanted a permanent solution, while NASCAR was hesitant to make it a part of their permanent rules. This sparked debates about finding a compromise where teams could hold on to their charters indefinitely if they met certain conditions. In May, NASCAR shifted attention by announcing an in-season tournament. This tournament, aligning with TNT Sports' broadcast schedule, offered a $1 million prize to the winner. The announcement added excitement for fans, but it remained uncertain whether this would ease the growing tension between NASCAR and the teams. June brought unexpected news. NASCAR revealed it was considering allowing the France family, which manages NASCAR, to purchase charters. This idea was surprising because the current rules prohibit members of the France family from owning charters. They might have been inspired by Roger Penske, who owns both IndyCar and a team in the series. However, some teams were uncomfortable with this proposal. Around the same time, talks about introducing a cost cap and allowing private equity firms to invest in charters began to surface. Behind these events was a much larger plan for NASCAR's future. The organization was gearing up for a major reorganization in 2025. Significant changes were being made to improve internal operations and focus on efficiency. For example, NASCAR President Steve Phelps took on a more strategic role, and Chief Operating Officer Steve O'Donnell received additional responsibilities. NASCAR also merged its sponsorship and media operations to better align to critical areas, signaling a pivotal moment for the sport's future. Now, before you leave, just don't forget to give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell for more upcoming uploads in the future.